Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Young here, and today I'm back with another Fortnite video. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the #1 setting that you guys want to try out and use if you are looking to improve your aim, your builds, and edits. If you are looking to improve your consistency in Fortnite, you definitely want to give this setting a try and to put on. So definitely stay to the end of the video. And real quick, before we get into the video, up on the screen I have the VBuck giveaway winner of this week. I give away VBucks every single Friday, and if you guys are interested in entering the next giveaway, all you guys have to do is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell and drop a comment down below of either your Xbox gamer tag, PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. I will be giving out one of these cards every single Friday. I will share the screenshot of the winner in the video, so make sure you guys stay updated if you are interested in winning free V-Bucks. And lastly, if you guys want to support me in the item shop, just go down to the bottom right, hit on support a creator, type in creator code YoungHumor, and you guys will have me supported in the item shop as a creator. And alright guys, let's get to the video. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be covering the best and most OP setting that you guys need to try out and to use here in this current chapter and season. So going down to the sensitivities that I'm currently using, I have a 2.1x for my build mode sensitivity. My edit mode sensitivity is a 2.2x. As far as my vertical sensitivity, it is on a 41%, and then my horizontal speed is on a 41% as well. These sensitivities are really great for the current season, and I highly recommend them. I have a 9% for my aim down sights. So the setting I want to talk about is going to be the look dampening time setting. Now this setting is something that I've used off and on for a long time, but this is a setting that I really wanted to talk about again because I find that it has a lot of use for a lot of you guys, and I think you should try it out as well. So the reason why this setting is really good, and as far as the description, it's the time it takes to reach the expected look rotation speed after applying initial input to the controller's right stick. This allows for small view adjustments by tapping the stick set to 0.0 seconds to disable the dampening. So right in the description, it allows you to have small view adjustments, which is really important for improving your aim, because having this on is going to give you more of an exponential feel even playing on linear, because linear is a lot better option than playing on exponential. So if you want to have the exponential aim but on linear, having a look dampening time will help you do that tremendously. And that's why I really recommend this setting for a lot of players, because a lot of you guys I know do struggle with hitting your shots, being able to hit headshots consistently, hitting those AR shots when you need to, and this setting is going to help you do so without having to play an exponential, which just is not very good for building and editing. Linear is going to be your go-to. So as far as your look damping time, I want to talk about a couple options that you can have as far as what you should play on. If you should play on a lower look damping time or a higher. But as I said, linear is your go-to for the season, and having the exponential feel is going to help improve your aim. It's going to allow you to hit more shots from long range and also close range. So something that I would consider a low is anything below like a 0.06 or like 0.07. Anything below that I would consider low, and I would consider anything really high to be above a 0.25 or anything higher than that. I recommend raising your look dampening time up really high so you can get an idea of how it feels and what the sensitivity actually does or setting, because if you don't really know what it does and you just put it up a little bit, you might not notice a difference. So if you put it up a lot, you're going to notice a big change in how it feels. It's going to feel a lot more stiff and a little bit more rigid, which is good. It's how you want it, because it's going to allow you to hit long range shots a lot easier. But it's also another thing too, is when you increase your look damping time, you can also play on higher sensitivities more comfortably, because you can play on a higher sensitivity but still have the slowdown that you need to hit long range shots and to make those small view adjustments with your analog stick. So as far as the look damping time, I would recommend to try out a couple of different ranges. I'd recommend trying out on something like a 0.06, maybe moving up to a 0.010, which is what it's on right now, which I would consider a medium. This is going to allow you to hit long range shots very consistently, but not feel overbearing or feel really sluggish, because if you have your look dampening time up too high, it can definitely feel a little bit sluggish and just not ideal. So you want to find the right balance, and the right balance is different for a lot of players. So that's why it's important to try and use different settings to figure out what works best for you. So having this setting off also works good as well, because some of you guys might not like it. So having this setting off will allow you to have a full linear feel. Having it on and then turning it off definitely feels a little bit weird. It feels kind of clunky. I'm kind of throwing my character around. It feels like I'm not I don't have as much control as I did before. So I think having the setting off is going to be like the most ideal for like shotgun fights. But if you want to be able to hit your long range shots and just overall consistency, I recommend being on a low look dampening time. But if your aim is really struggling and you just can't hit shots at all, I would recommend being on a medium to high look dampening time setting. So like a 0.012 all the way up to like a 0.25. I would recommend having this setting on. So if you're a no builds player, especially if you don't play builds, which I'm pretty sure most of you guys would play building, but if you don't play any builds and you're a no build player, then I highly recommend on being on a high look dampening time, because it's going to allow you to play on linear but have the aim of exponential, and you're not going to have to worry about building whatsoever. So playing on a higher look dampening time is going to be very beneficial to those of you players who play mostly no builds or don't play building at all. So when it comes to finding the right sensitivity for you, I recommend just trying out a low sensitivity, trying out a high sensitivity, and then also playing with it in game. And the reason why that's important as well, and also for my dead zones, if you guys wanted to know, it's on 9% and 10%. But it's important to actually play on these sensitivities in real games, because it's going to feel different in real games as opposed to just changing your settings in creative for maybe a couple minutes, because it could feel good in creative and then you go into a game and it just doesn't feel good whatsoever. You're just missing all your shots. And of course, when you're changing your sensitivity, you might miss a little bit more shots at first, but if you feel like you have more control and you feel like you might be better with the new setting after, say, a couple hours or a couple days, I highly recommend keeping that setting. So it's really important to actually try these settings in real games and go and fight against real players. Then you can know if the settings feel really good or really bad to you. And I highly recommend trying out a creative game mode where you can fight a lot of players really quickly, because in real games sometimes you have to loot up for like 5 or 10 minutes before you're even fighting a player, and you don't want to keep doing that every single time you try to change your sensitivity. So I highly recommend going into like a custom game or anything where you're fighting a lot of players, like the pit, or just anything where you're doing like 1v1s constantly, where you're just fighting other players so you can actually try out your sensitivity rather than jumping off a battle bus, looting up for a couple minutes just to have a sensitivity that just doesn't feel good in the first fight that you take. So I highly recommend going into a creative game so you can try out your sensitivities a lot faster and get and understand what works best for you. So with that being said, I really appreciate all you guys watching the video. If you could, make sure you guys drop a like, hit the subscribe button if you are new to the channel, hit that notification bell so you guys can get notified for every single time I release a new video. But with that being said, I really appreciate all you guys watching the video, and alright guys, I'll see you next video.